I'm gonna do my best to ignore these enemies for a second. But you can press, you can also switch characters. I am using gamepad right now, so I don't know what the default button for that is. I'm gonna lure all these enemies over here so I don't have to deal with them while I'm talking. Okay. But yeah, if you press down and the character switch button, you put the slave character in ambush mode, and you just saw the word CP down appear. That means that I lost a coupling point. If you put a character in ambush mode, you lose coupling points more quickly, but they also regenerate health pretty quickly too. So it's a trade-off. Most of the time for boss fights you're going to want to have ambush mode on, because like it actually can be very beneficial to have one character on the other side of the level when you're fighting a boss, just in case you need to dodge a spell card or something. But there's only one attack button in this game. Just use different button combinations to do different attacks, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, you have these white fuzzy enemies. These are going to be like the main enemies for the regular levels. They're not really difficult to deal with. They're just kind of like the stock enemies. And I'm lagging pretty bad for this, but hopefully it won't be an issue. And as you can see, if you use Alice's regular attack and just keep mashing the attack button, she'll keep like stabbing the target with dolls until she hits it away with one last one, and it'll hit any other targets that are in that area. So Alice, I mean, most of the time what I do for boss fights is I start out with Marissa. Like I'll give an example of that attack I was talking about with Alice, if I can do it. Oh, no, I got hit. Anyway, you see I hit that. If you switch characters, then you can keep attacking the enemy that the other character is attacking, and that keeps your quote-unquote chain up. And if you get a high chain, you'll get a lot of coupling points for it. You also get a lot of points, and you have a chance to get some gems to fall out. I don't really know what the point of gems are. I think they're just for score purposes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really think. Oh, I didn't explain what the other uses for spell meter were. As you can see, like I said before, there are 3 sections to the spell meter. If you fill up a section, you can either A, use a spell card, B, use first aid, or C, use a mana burst. First aid, the spell card's pretty explanatory. Each character gets 1 spell card. Marissa gets her Master Spark, Alice gets a kind of doll combo sort of thing, and Patchouli gets Silent Selena, and Silent Selena is probably the most useful of the 3. Master Spark is 2. I mean, it's pretty useful in its own right, but Silent Selena can do more damage if you use it right, so Alice's spell card isn't really that useful, so I think I've only used it on accident. But first aid. If one of your characters gets knocked down and you have one section of your spell meter filled up, you can use first aid on that character, and it'll basically divide the character that isn't down. It'll divide that character's health in half and give it to the character that was down, and use up a section of your spell meter in the process. And as far as I know, it's available in all modes. It might not have always been the case for some of the harder difficulties, but it is now, and it's very useful, especially for some of the more difficult bosses where, like, if you make one mistake, you'll get killed in one hit, which is actually the case for, I think, at least 2 of the last 3 bosses. I'm not entirely sure. But, and then Mana Burst. If one of your characters gets hit, or is about to get hit, and you press the spell card button, or the spell button at the exact, time that they get hit, you'll trigger a Mana Burst, and basically the slave character will step in for the master character and block the attack, and also give you an extended period of invulnerability. I think it's it differs from difficulty to difficulty, but I think it's 8 seconds in Desperate Mode, which is really useful. So, especially for the extra stage boss, and you guys will see why. I think that's it for this introductory video. Yeah, not a whole lot else to talk about. So now this is just a score screen. I don't think it matters that much, and you can see since I'm so awesome, I only got one coupling point. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys for the first boss.